Oh, sick.
I'm just exhausted.
Oh.
Just tired. It's just cold, cranky, just,
Yeah.
I haven't had a soda in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's good, though.
I almost broke down and had a Mountain Dew today, but I didn't.
Welcome to Happy Endings, episode 38, recording January 22nd, 2014. You've already heard Goalie was not on our regular show, on the Game Pound show, because he is sick and covered in snow.
Yeah, not so much sick as just really tired. Just when the cold just taps your energy when it's really cold. And as I was telling you just before we come on, finally the hockey rink thing got fixed, so we played hockey. But of course, it snowed out, so half the guys are missing. Blah 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 blah. Needless to say, we ran late. I didn't get home till almost 11:45 last night, and it was like 8 degrees out and snowing.
Yeah.
And then the wife's like, well, I got to go to work in the morning, so I had to shovel the driveway and clean off her car so she could go to work. And I think it was pretty close to 12:30 when I finally get in the house and took off the clothes and laid down. And yeah, I just didn't really sleep much after that. So I missed the show because I needed to just lay down and try to get some sleep. But of course, when you get two dogs here and one's whining to go out and one's whining to come in, and it doesn't happen.
Why do people live in the East Coast, Nick? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm really starting to think that same thing. Like, what?
What the fuck am I doing here?
Well, yeah, I need the work. I do. I need the work.
Yeah. In fact, I was just reading about our minor league hockey team, the San Francisco Bulls. They've been around for about 3 years, and they're about to go under because nobody cares about hockey around here. I mean, we care about the Sharks, but only marginally. They're kind of the third place team behind fourth place because fifth place.
Too bad because
behind baseball, football, two football
hockey
teams.
is way more interesting than those other two sports.
Yeah, and it is.
You know what's really weird? Hockey is really one of the best sports to see live. It really, and everybody that says that too, the first hockey game is like, this is amazing. But the problem is you can't go out and play it in those areas. You can play roller hockey maybe, but ice hockey.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so and all of our ice rinks here are almost all gone under. All the ice rinks have been closed up and re-renovated and turned into movie theaters. Yeah,
that's kind of the issue you got with that stuff there. So I don't know why hockey never caught on. Maybe it's the fighting. Maybe it's just the speed of it. It could be a million different reasons, but yeah, it's too bad when you hear about that.
Yeah.
But yes, I have to stick around here for my job. I'm really thinking if I had a job that I could do from different places, I might think about moving out of the snow. Maybe it's just 'cause I'm getting older. I'm getting as old as Edie now. So,
fuck you. Are you younger than me? I keep forgetting.
I'm 4 or 5 months younger than you.
Okay.
So it's just getting to me. I mean, winter's never bothered me for the longest time, and now all of a sudden, what really sucks now is when we were growing up, we would go to school, we would play hockey, we would do everything in the snow. And nowadays, it's like, oh, snow's forecasted for tomorrow, so school's canceled today. I mean, they cancel school at the first flake. It's unbelievable.
Are you going to do one of those back in my day stories? Back in my day.
Yeah, I might as well. I mean, the generation of kids that we're raising nowadays, it's bad enough they're a bunch of sissies, but now it's like, oh, can't have you out in the snow. You better stay inside until the snow stops. We got 1 inch. Doesn't matter. You need to stay inside. It's insane. Even all the hockey dudes are we playing hockey? Dude, it's 1 in the afternoon and sunny out. What do you mean are we playing tonight? Well, I heard it might snow. Oh, let me go pick up a salad for your salad ass. Come on,
You need to play Don't Starve. See, that's what Don't Starve does. It makes strong people willing to die to play a game.
Speaking about that, can I just, you guys probably did what you're playing. Can I run through what I was playing?
Yeah.
Just real quick. I've been striking out. I tell you, I'm like Nick at a dating thing, just striking.
Ooh, that's bad.
Nick and Sadie Hawkins dance.
Oh, Ooh.
I'm like Nick on Match.com.
Wow, that was
Ooh,
like,
messages.
goalie's okay. That was
Below the belt.
low, Edie. Damn.
The three
Ouch.
words that strike fear into every man. Sadie Hawkins dance.
Oh man, I don't even know
I
what
got a
it is.
bruise.
I remember going to some of them, but I don't know what they are. I'm not even gonna ask.
You didn't have Sadie Hawkins?
I did. I don't know if I went to too many. I don't know what. It's just when you go.
No, Sadie Hawkins dance. The girl has to ask the guy to the dance.
Oh.
That's why you didn't go to any.
Oh, probably not. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, all right. So here's my list. Do you have sound effects queued up?
No. What sound effects do you want? Tell me what sound effects you want. You just tell
make
me
them-
these things.
you need
I don't know. I'm going to reel off a list of 4 games. It'd be nice if I had like a little dun dun dun.
Okay, let me look. I'm looking at fanfare right now.
No. What's the opposite of fanfare?
fair?
Huh?
Nick? I don't know.
Eight fair?
Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me see what we got. Browse. I'm going to browse. All
Yeah.
right. How about, and we'll do that one.
Push each button has you.
And let's just randomly pick a bunch of, hold on a second. And all right. And I'm just randomly, literally just picking up stuff.
Oh, this will be fun. This will be fun.
All right. Okay. All right. And I'm loading them in. All right. First one.
All right. So
on.
the first game that I played,
There you go.
and well, I probably talked about this a little bit last week. It was the Don't Starve, and I got 40 seconds into it, and it's like, I just want to play a game. I don't want to figure out how to play a game. I just want to play a game. So Don't Starve was me. So Don't Starve. Hit the sound effect.
All right. It's an antique clock strike.
All right. Don't Starve struck out. So if people, with Don't Starve, they're gonna starve if they're expecting me to buy this game. The people that made it. Okay, so they're gonna starve.
Yeah.
Okay. The next game I played, which one was? Oh, was the I downloaded that Trine 2, that little side scroller there on PlayStation 4. That was free.
There you go. There's a cartoon boing.
All right, there's a cartoon boring. So I started to play that Trine 2, downloaded it for free, and played it. Side scroll, looked kind of neat, on some of the videos. Yeah, not really. It's side scroller. It's left and right, and you feel like you should have that Z access, and you don't. You you can jump up and down, and you can walk left and right. And they try to use the pad, that little the push pad there. I don't know what you want to call it there on the PlayStation controller there. And you use it for a couple different things, and I couldn't get it to do what I wanted to do. I kept doing the wrong thing. So it's almost like they forced that little pad on you in this game, and when they could have just used the X button. Like one of them was supposed to draw a box. Instead of drawing a box, I would pick up a rock. And it was like like in those games, like it's the same button to pick up a gun as it is to open a door, and you kept like dropping guns while you're trying to open a door. That type of thing there, very frustrating. And then I got stuck in the tutorial just trying to jump on a ledge, and it just wasn't that fun. So Trine 2, sound effect, please. Yeah, that one's gone too. So Don't Starve is gone. Trine 2 is gone. So then I said, well, I got this DC Universe game that's taking up like 900 gigabytes on my hard drive. Okay, it's a friggin' and every day I get another gigabyte to download for an update. I said, I better try this game before it takes over my house. Okay, so I go to play it, and it's a I don't know what it is.
Do you want a sound effect for announcing it?
Yeah, just go ahead. So what's it, DC Universe Online?
Yeah.
You're just like a comic book person doing things, and I didn't even know who I was or what I was doing, and it was just like lather, rinse, repeat with all these bad guys coming at you. And I was hoping it's something you could play with somebody and go after a big boss battle or do something together.
You can, but you have to get through like the initial part of it. Most MMOs are like that. That you have like an area that's just yours, and it kind of teaches you how to play the game,
feel like
and then
you
you get into
described-
like the main game.
I feel like you described every superhero game ever made. Comic book guy doing things, wave after wave of bad guys.
Right.
Yeah, and I was in it, but it just got rinse, lather, repeat, whatever that order is. It's just like I just got really just bored. It's like for something that's taking up this amount of space in my hard drive, and I could fly a little bit. I don't even know if I could shoot. I just got bored really fast. So DC Universe, sound effect, please. Yeah. Adios, muchachos. So, Don't Starve is gone. What was the other one I mentioned? Trine 2 is gone, and DC Universe is gone. So I had the disc for that Marvel Legos or Legos Marvel, whatever it is. I do like the Legos game. Mm-hmm. And I was playing this the other night. I told you with her nephew, and we were trying to play and figure it out. So I said, okay, I'm going to start this game all on my own and play it. So I started playing it, and I don't know half the characters in this game. Mm-hmm. I'm just not into the whole comic book thing, and maybe that's why I didn't like in some of these games. I'm just not into that. So you start off as the Hulk and Iron Man, and you're taking on Sandman. And the game starts off, okay, so as the Hulk, if you press X, it does this. If you press square, it does that. For a Hulk smash move, it's circle X. For a Hulk this move, it's circle triangle. For this, it's square triangle. To change into David Banner, hold triangle. To come out of it, tap triangle. And do this, tap square. What? What do I do now? Okay, well, go over here and do this. I already forgot the combination. Okay, because you've given me 10 different buttons to press and 10 different combinations. I am lost. Mm-hmm. So I just thought, whatever. I moved the thing the Hulk needed to move. Great. Now go to Iron Man. Okay, same thing. Square for this, square X for this, triangle X square for this, left trigger, hold this, stand on 1 foot for this. I'm lost. 5 minutes into this game, and I'm lost. So maybe they need a younger kid to deal with this stuff, but it's like the wrestling games. I never could play a wrestling game because I never remembered the damn combo moves. So I was like, I'm lost. I'm like bouncing back between characters. I don't know which character to use. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do, and I've already forgotten all the buttons because they didn't ramp you up. They just kind of threw it at you, like the basketball game when I did that. They threw so many different buttons at me. I don't know what button to press to shoot anymore because I had so many different things.
Yeah, that's always annoying.
I
always find tutorials work best when they're really drawn, maybe not really drawn out, but drawn out enough so that's like, okay, go over here, now do this. And this is how you do this.
Yeah, get me to do something a handful of times so I'm used to doing it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then get me to do the next thing a handful of times. And then bounce back and forth so I have an idea on the basics. And then you can get me into the super smash moves, okay? But to throw
and plus, I've always hated things that like require you to hit multiple face buttons, like square and X. That's so annoying.
Because instead of playing the game, you're looking down, making sure you're hitting the right buttons, and you spend more time looking at the buttons than you do. Even if you know where the buttons are, you still, did I hit the right combination? I don't know. So I tried to bounce back and forth between the Hulk and Iron Man a couple of times, and I've had some fun playing Lego games. I didn't have any fun playing this one there. And I was just lost. Like, Knack does a great job with it because Knack, it's jump and punch, and they have a couple of combos. But the combos always start with a circle button. So if you hit circle and something else, you've done the combo move. It's real easy. Real easy. Knack it's shut up! The dog's home today. This is why you can't get a nap during the day. Mm-hmm. It's because a leaf blew by the front window and there's a dog.
Thought it was
so this the Lego Marvel Lego, whatever it is on the PlayStation 4, gone, ejected, and that's going back to my local GameStop as soon as I get there. And it's too bad because I did like the Lego Star Wars. I think I might even go pick that up if I can find it used for the 360 because I like the Lego games. This one I didn't like. And if you look on the list, there's like 100 characters in this game, maybe more. And I don't know who they are or what they do, but for when I was watching the little kid play it, it was like, well, Spider-Man's going to do this, and then this guy's going to do this, and then this guy's going to do this. I'm like, it's too in-depth for me. They lost me. And I know I wasn't the target demographic for that game, but I don't know. Even I said, Mrs. Goal, you want to try it? She goes, yeah, right. She goes, I'm watching you get lost. She goes, how the hell am I going to play? She likes simple games. Right. She's like, I ain't going to know what buttons to push. No, she did well with Knack. Mm-hmm. So it shows you the difference between Knack and Lego, that she finished Knack and loved Knack, and it didn't have much of a problem with it. But the Lego game, she's like, she goes, I don't know what character to use. I don't know how to switch and do this. And she goes, I saw you getting frustrated. I was like, why would I want to play that? So strike 4. I got 4 strikes. Trying 2, Don't Starve, DC Universe, and Marvel Lego. All struck out.
I'm just hitting a bunch of random sound effects.
I hope you make me sound good because I'm in a down mood, especially after all these games. So I hope I brought a lot of life to this show today.
You've livened it up.
Yeah. That was a very. It makes us appreciate you being on the show when we do a show without you, because it's kind of it's missing something. It's missing the spice.
It makes me feel good that I'm the spice.
You are.
Yeah.
So we talked about Nintendo.
So okay, wait. This is completely off the topic of games,
right?
But it's something that was bugging me all throughout the break. On the show, or maybe before the show, Edie, you talking about how you got a bloody nose.
Yeah, I woke up to a bloody nose this morning.
And
jumped out of bed, and nose started bleeding like crazy.
And I just, for some reason, that made me think of like this show where some guy like kept getting a bloody nose, or like he had this ability to like blow his nose, and every time he did it, it would just spray blood everywhere. And like him, or maybe it was him and some friends or something, but used it to like stage a fake crime scene because he would just blow blood everywhere and make it look like someone got murdered. Do you know what that is?
What? No. Does anyone else in the chat room know? That's disgusting.
I have totally seen that somewhere, and I can't think of where.
That's my superhero power. Is the bloody nose. Mr. Anger, the spleen, and the bloody nose.
Like I know I have seen that somewhere.
Well, the only thing that comes to mind is there was a Chevy Chase movie back in the 80s that he had special powers, and the girlfriend or the wife that he was breaking up with was on a date, and he made blood come flying out of the guy's nose at the restaurant. That's the only
that was it was Chevy Chase was in it.
Charmed or something like that. Or?
It wasn't Charmed. What was it? It was Chevy Chase, I think. Oh yeah, it was a girl that he liked, and she was out to dinner with the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see the scene in my head.
Yeah, I forget. It's a one-word title, I'm pretty sure. Like,
and it wasn't that series of films that he did. Not Stitch, not Hutch.
Fletch.
It wasn't Fletch.
No, it wasn't Fletch because he had powers in this one, some kind of powers.
That's a good one because I remember that scene.
Caddyshack?
Oh God, no.
No.
He wakes up and he's got like powers. He's got psychic powers. AC Ray says Modern Problems.
Oh, Hero?
Yeah, it could be Modern Problems.
Yeah, this was from the 80s.
The 80s.
So it might be modern.
I'm on IMDb. So.
Yeah, look up Modern Problems and tell me if that sounds like it. That's it.
Oh yeah, Jill Control recently.
Speaking of movies, you know what I saw the other day was
it's got to be Modern Problems.
I saw Oblivion. You guys see Oblivion with Tom Cruise?
No.
Yeah.
It's a good little sci-fi movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was quite a good movie.
Kind of confusing at the end.
It dumps a lot on you.
It's one of those movies, that right at the end, all of a sudden, like all this stuff comes out, and you're trying to. It's like, whoa. Yeah, we could talk off air, Nick, about trying to figure out the ending of that.
Yeah, but I love the style. Like it looks so cool.
I'm into the apocalyptic movies and stories. That's just my thing. I don't know why. It always has been, probably since Planet of the Apes. I just love people's visions of Earth in the future, and what happens to man, and the whole bit. And that's what this was Tom Cruise was basically on a mop-up crew, kind of keeping an eye on a dead Earth, so to speak. And it goes off from there. It actually did take some really good twists and turns. I got to say that I was not expecting.
Yeah. Certainly.
Some of the things that happen, and I'm unclear at the end. And maybe before we sign off, I'll ask you what you thought about the end of the movie, because I still had a couple of questions of like what it was that actually happened.
So you pretty much went over all of your games. Well, we got to get you a new game. Oh, Nick said during the regular show that he's actually been craving Diablo.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
we might need to do a little Diablo. Can we do this after the show, maybe? Play a little Diablo 3 on 360 and just cheer you up a bit?
I gotta go to work.
Oh, you got to go to work. Well, I'll play. Goalie, you need it. You need a little picker-upper, and Diablo 3 is definitely a good picker-upper for you.
That's so much. I can't wait for that to come to PS4 and then have the DLC with it.
Yep.
I'm kind of looking forward
Speaking of
to that.
DLC, I mentioned in the show, Resogun's getting DLC.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome. I mean, I'm interested if it's going to be A, free, and B, what it's going to be.
Yeah. So, yeah, might as well hit the rest of the news because we only got through part of the news because we're the game house. We never get through the news completely. So let's hit the news. Items we didn't hit. And by the way, everybody knows that there's PlayStation 4 corrupts that are corrupting games all over the place, right?
Yeah, I saw some.
Yeah. It's all games. And the thing that I kind of noticed that may or may not be an issue was that whether it was. It seems like all of the games that people were mentioning for the PlayStation forum thread were all disc-based games. Because I didn't really see anybody complaining about losing 40 hours on Don't Starve or losing 40 hours on Warframe. They're just using on the AAA titles, which I'm assuming are disc games. And that's an assumption on my part. But it's, all of a sudden you get, I forget the name of it, I'll look it up, but you get an arrow that's a CE 274-878-0 whatever error, and when that happens, in some cases it just corrupts the save and you lose a bunch of time out of whatever game that you were playing, or in some cases it's rendered the whole PlayStation unusable. You can't even load up another game.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yep, but I would imagine there's similar bugs, if not already on the Xbox One. There will be.
So what are they saying to do for this? If you
in some cases you are just SOL, and in other cases you have to send in the whole console and have a new console returned to you because you can't get into any game.
Boy.
Yeah, so that sucks. Let's see. Let me pull.
That's new, right? That's
this.
new.
Well, it's not really new because I think that the PlayStation Forum has been going for quite some time about it, but it's really just coming to light. Apparently, it's a 32-page thread on the PlayStation Forums of people complaining, and I don't know if it's because it's just getting some attention now that it's accelerating, or if it's because it's actually accelerating itself, that more people are getting corruptions. I have not had any issues with that, thank God. But I'm very fortunate in that way. But if you do get an error, double check to see the PlayStation forums, because there is one particular error that's kind of running amok in the PlayStation world. Here's a story that Goalie might find very interesting.
Okay.
Dance games can help you burn off calories, as you know. Get a little thinner, get a little more lithe and lovely. Mm-hmm. But according to a study published in Neurology and Urodynamics last week, these games can also help women with urinary incontinence. Canadian and Swiss researchers wrote that 24 women older than the age of 65 experienced a greater decrease in daily urine leakage. I need where's the sound effects for that? Let's see.
Drip, drip.
Okay, so women over the age of 65 experienced a decrease in daily urine leakage for the usual than for the usual program improvement in effectiveness, as well as no dropouts from the program and a higher weekly participation rate over the course of 12 weeks. The researchers did not specify which game was used in the study, and the game itself wasn't as crucial as to the results, as was crucial to the results is the fact that the participants were engaged in a physical activity. That being said, a Zumba game is more cost-effective than a Zumba membership enrollment. And we dare say that dancing games can be pretty fun. I'm reading this from Joystick.
Yeah, but it's probably just exercise, you know?
Right, exactly. That's what we're saying, is that it's debatable. It's arguable that the participation was increased and compliance with the program was increased because they were using a game rather than doing the regular exercises that were not game-based.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's kind of like when you see the people on the TV, it's like, oh yeah, this guy's lost 30, 40 pounds, and it says in conjunction with the diet and exercise program. It's just like, yeah, so
yeah,
okay, you know.
And this one's for our friends out in Norway. I know Tor is on the chat room, Tor the Weege, but this is for our Norwegian friends. How you doing? A teacher at Nordahl Grieg Upper Secondary School in Bergen, Norway, is using Telltale's The Walking Dead video game to help teach students ethics.
I think I saw this.
Yeah. Norwegian news station NRK has a report you can watch that's available online. And you might want to turn on the captions unless you are from Norway. But as part of his religious studies class, Tobias Stabi has students take anonymous polls, which are centered around the events of the game. When Glenn wants to save a woman trapped in a motel, for example, Stabi asks his students if it's the right thing to do. Quote, I want a good catalyst for discussions about ethical theories or ethical dilemmas, Stabi told NRK. This game provides the students with a space they can navigate and discuss within based on the curriculum. Stabi said he hopes his methods will become more common as time goes on. And so there you go. See, these things have between the last story and this story, games are awesome.
They don't all make you want to go out and kill people.
No. Sometimes you want to save. I mean, God. In fact, I really want to play the new. Many times I have walked up to my 360 and said to myself, boy, I really want to play the new Walking Dead episode, but I haven't played 400 Days. Do I really want to play 400 Days?
You don't have to play 400 Days, but 400 Days is really good.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? It's like 2 hours.
All right, I'll just do that. I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to play 400 Days. And then I've started on the episode because I feel an obligation as a journalist to play a game that has come out instead of waiting 6 years to play something, which I tend to do.
You're going to wait for something to come out, and then when it comes out, I'm not going to play it. I'm going to keep waiting for something else.
Did you have any news items that we didn't talk about?
Yeah, I kind of have a big one. This sort of ad debacle between Microsoft, Machinima, and YouTube.
Forgot about that one. Yeah.
So, like, YouTubers that get paid for the videos are, like, paid per 1,000 views. Mm-hmm. And I guess Microsoft and Machinima had this promotion going on where if you included footage of a Xbox One game and you added this tag, you'd get an extra $3 per 1,000 views. But, like, part of the requirements of doing this promotion is that you couldn't say anything. They wanted you to say only positive or neutral things about the Xbox, and you couldn't say that this was a promotion.
Right.
And so that got a lot of people upset because some people jumped in and said, like, okay, these type of promotions are really common. And even in this, it's come out that EA has done a lot of promotions like this where they pay people to talk about their games. But they always say, like, mention in the video or in the description of the video that this is a sponsored thing, that you're getting extra money for this. So in response, Microsoft then put out a release that said, this is sort of, basically they passed the buck to Machinima and said, we just said, we'll give you $3 per 1,000 views. Any confidentiality thing is on Machinima. And then Machinima finally came out and put out a release that said, like, okay, usually when we do something like this, we always have descriptions that we always have it mentioned in the promotion that you have to say it's a promotion. We don't know why that language wasn't here this time, but we'll put it in now. Well, actually, I don't think they can put it in now because I think it was for December.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it already passed. So like, yeah, we don't know why it wasn't in this time.
They tried to pull a stunt.
And that was it. But it's interesting because I've heard people, like a lot of people mistakenly think that there's like a whole lot of corruption in the games industry, that like, oh, IGN and GameSpot are like in the pocket of big developer and big publishers. And there's this sense that YouTube videos are sort of a more honest source of criticism because it's just the average person, you know, playing a game and giving their opinion of it. So I think this might have gone a fair ways in kind of shattering that sense of honesty.
Yeah, and
not to say that you like everyone on YouTube is corrupt, or even anyone on YouTube is corrupt, but that mistaken sense of corruption versus honesty has been shattered. Now the two are more equal.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of funny that this report comes in the wake of the last few months of Let's Play people who may or may not be sponsored and may or may not be involved with these kind of promotional deals where they're getting paid a little extra or paid a lot extra to say positive things or to not say negative things. That here are all these publishers going in and coming down on Let's Play people, keeping independent those without a dog in the race from actually saying anything or putting their games up on YouTube. YouTube's been cracking down on making people pulling from their service videos.
Content ID stuff.
Right, because of the content. Meanwhile, you've got a publisher and a console producer, arguably another large publisher as well, that are both out there further tainting the waters by saying, oh, well, we'll actually give you money, but you can't say anything bad. It's putting a real chilling effect on freedom of speech and freedom to review things. That the more that they're making it harder and harder and harder for an honest review in any of the major media methods like YouTube, so not so much websites, because websites they can't control.
Yeah,
but certainly places like YouTube.
Yeah. Well, especially the idea of having a promotion of, talk about our game and say nice things about it.
Right.
And that kind of thing.
If you say nice things about our game, or more so, if you avoid saying anything negative about a game, chances are you're going to stay on YouTube. But if you have anything negative to say about the game, then screw you. We're going to pull down all the videos. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Really messed up.
I don't think that's what's happening, but it's just a bad confluence of events.
Right. And sometimes it's not whether something is corrupt, it's the appearance of being corrupt. And it's starting to appear to be corrupt.
I mean, I get, when I review games or if I talk about games, I don't like to bash. Even the 4 games I ripped off, I didn't shred them. I just didn't care for them. So I get that there's like a whole bunch of whiny little bitches out there to complain about everything, and they take and they flame these games and they throw bombs on the internet, and it's just so I get that you don't want that, but at the same time, if you just suck up to games, then now you have the other extreme. So yes, I like to have some honesty in there, and we do that a lot here on the show. It's like if there's something that's really bad, we'll bash it. And if there's something that's really good, then we'll gush over it. Mm-hmm. But if there's something in the middle, we just say, blah, 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 blah.
Right. But, also, I don't know if this should matter to our listeners and should matter to us as well. But if there's ever a time when we have received money for anything, and that has never occurred, but if a company gives us a review copy, I will tell you that we have the review copy so that as consumers of our information, how much, and you can weigh how much it will taint what we say. If we had if we ever get someone who says, I'm going to pay you to review our game, first off, I'm going to tell them we're not going to review it glowingly if it's not. We're going to be honest. And we would never take money for that if someone was paying for our word for me to tell you that a good game when I didn't believe it was. But on top of it, I've always been really clear every single time I talk about anything I have money in, like Microsoft. If you've listened to this show, you know I have stock in Microsoft. Redbox, you all know I have money in Redbox. I have stock. So I'm trying to be super honest about my personal financial connections to any of the things that I talk about so that you can be informed about my opinion. Because half of it, the only thing that we have as podcasters, as journalists, is our word and the sanctity of our word and the reliability of our word. And that is something that you as listeners have to decide. The only way to decide that is for you to know where our allegiances lie. And I have always, if anybody ever, I don't care how much money they said they gave me. Well, that's not true. That's all right.
Everyone's got a price.
We all know what we are. We just haven't found our price. That's true.
Man, if someone wants to give me $1 million to say nice things, I will.
Yeah, if somebody gave me I might not do it for 1,000, but above 1,000, I would start to think about it.
$1,000 ain't that much.
Yeah, it's not that much, and it's not worth it to sell my reputation, my huge reputation in the industry as an honest journalist. But, if you got up there, someone said, hey, I want you to review and not say anything negative. I would be like, I would not say something positive about a game that sucks.
You describe the game, you push A and jump.
Right, and the A button feels very good.
It kind of reminds me. There was this show on TV, this going back years ago, and they were in a mall, and it was all staged, and they said that they were having this new yogurt out. And they said, hey, come here, we're going to film a commercial, and we'll pay you. Just, taste our yogurt and just say how much you like it. So all these people lined up to do it. And they took this yogurt, and they put, raw fish heads in it. Nothing that would make anybody sick. But just, disgusting things in this yogurt. So they get the camera and the lights all set up and are in the mall, and they hand the person the yogurt and say, so take a spoonful and eat it and say, this is the best yogurt I ever had. It's just and all these people it was so awesome. It was what? What's the matter?
And they're like, this is the best yogurt I ever had. They did it too, right? They did it. They all said it was the best yogurt they ever had.
Coming out of their eyes. Other people were just spitting it out. It was so funny. That's kind of what I was thinking about with this here. It's hey, here's $1,000. Tell everybody you love this game. Aliens, Colonial Marines. Yeah.
Right.
Homefront.
When I used to be a film...
It boots up.
It boots up. I'll tell you, it boots up. Yeah, it boots up great.
This menu screen is beautiful.
I can select all the options.
That's right.
What's great about Homefront is I can be done with it before the wife gets home from work. And she's only working half a day.
It didn't give me projectile diarrhea. That's awesome.
I didn't have any urinary leakage.
No urinary leakage.
I didn't even need to dance.
When I used to be a film critic, we would go to the previews before the movie was released, and of course they would have the people that were invited that were the media, and then they would fill up the rest of the movie theater.
Who's Philip?
They would fill up the rest of the movie theater with people. They were either hand the preview things out in the tickets out in the street, or they would give blocks of these tickets away to movie or to radio stations who would give them out. And it was a preview. So it was on a Wednesday night, because that's when the previews happen, or so on Tuesdays and Wednesdays before the movie release on a Friday. And you would see at the end of the movie, and it became right at the time I was leaving the industry, it was happening more and more and more. But I noticed it started with the shittiest movies, and it started to become more prevalent through all movies. So at the end of the movie, the credits would run, everybody'd stand out and walk out, and then there'd be camera crews in the lobby. and then they would just grab random people and ask them, what did you think of the movie?
I've seen commercials like that.
And then they put them in the commercials. Now,
Yeah.
originally, when it first started happening, there weren't that many people who were interested in doing it. But as people began to realize that they would be in the commercial, they started just like going over the top. Oh my God, this is the greatest movie. Wow, this is great. Because they wanted to be on television.
Yeah.
They didn't, the movie would be just terrible, horrible. And you can tell when an audience doesn't like a movie in a movie theater at the end because people will clap or not.
Yeah.
And it would be dead silence. And I could hear people walking out going, man, that movie is awful. And they'd walk out and then somebody would stick a camera in their face. What did you think of the movie? Oh my God, so scary. This is the best movie. Wow. Because they all wanted to be on TV. So just simply by asking them these questions and putting them on television, they were already altering the results. Because people knew what they were going to use them for. And if you had the best endorsement, you might get on television.
That's also the tricky thing of like, so I guess you could say crowdsourcing reviews or opinions is that the average person doesn't have that same responsibility for ethics. Like, yeah, sure. They'll say whatever they want to get on TV because why shouldn't they?
Right.
Well, I mean, that's what the news does when they're doing a story. Depending on the news network, if it's MSNBC or Fox, they'll go down the line and interview people till they get the one person that says what they say.
Right.
And there's document on all news networks do it. You know, it's like if there's a protest, they'll get on the line to find one guy that's against it. And say, oh, look at this guy, you know, and just to suit their agenda. So, I mean, that goes for everything, whether it's, you know, movies or news or whatever.
And it really innocuous things that aren't even controversial. I've seen it, you know, whenever there's some big flood in like St. Louis or Iowa or, you know, Texas, they will go out to that state, especially in the southern states. They will go out to the state and they will find the worst spokesman for that particular area. The guy with like no teeth, sitting on the top of his roof,
playing a
banjo. Right. Right. That's who they're going to find in the southern states. They're not going to find the guy with like the Harvard degree.
Yeah.
Whose very nice house has been washed out. They're going to go find the slack-jawed yokel, toothless, you know, with southern accent. I don't know how it happened. It was a flood, and I was real surprised. I'm almost as surprised as it was when it happened last year and the year before that. I didn't know when a good time to leave the house.
Oh, Miss Daisy, the only survivors of my entire family.
Right. We lost all our pegs.
We lost my kids, Billy John and Johnny Bill and Susie Mac and Mac and Sue and Mac and Cheese.
And they will go down there and they will find that one guy, and he becomes the face of the South, of whatever place that was in the South. And they'll totally do that.
Too. Out here, it's like, we're in California. Oh my gosh. Oh my
God. It's totally, exactly. They will totally play into whatever stereotypes out there.
Oh yeah, is that a dog in your pocketbook? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's right.
It's not a euphemism.
Right. That's right. And even now, whenever they could live something in San Francisco, they will find the most drugged out hippie they could find and ask him a question. It's like the hippies aren't around anymore. They all moved. Or anything in Berkeley. They will find some hippie.
Yeah, it's like a
tie-dyed T-shirt, and they're there.
When we have the big snowstorms out there, the first place they go is the coast. Hi, I'm here on the coast. We're watching the shore get eroded away by this storm. Sir, your house is falling into the sea. What do you think? I built it on sand by the ocean. Sir, there goes your house under the ocean. Oh my God, sir, what do you think about this? I'm on the ocean. Sand. And the storm came in and washed away my house. What do you think's happening? Oh my God! Now back to you in the studio. It's like they always go like to the worst place in the world, and they find the one house that gets washed away that was condemned by the city 20 years ago, too close to the water. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. So That's just the nature of the business.
You got to sell it. You got to sell it.
Wow, we started out with Machinima and ended up in Sandy. Hurricane Sandy. Welcome to the Game House.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes, right?
Yep.
We are the Tangent Hounds.
Rockstar has, we mentioned it last week that it was down for almost 24 hours with an update, major update. Well, it's back online, and it turns out that update was all about catching cheaters.
Really?
Yes. Rockstar revealed that it's removing counterfeit in-game currency distributed within Grand Theft Auto Online over the last several weeks. The studio is now taking corrective measures to punish players who actively engaged in cheating and other balance-breaking exploits. Rockstar assures that players who did not actively exploit the game's progression system will not be targeted during its search for cheaters. Counterfeit GTA dollars received from others will be removed from players' accounts, and all previously purchased items will remain available for use. So if you used that money, then you're fine. If you didn't use that money, you're fine. Players who purposefully cheated the system, however, are subject to punitive actions, ranging from assignment to cheater-specific player pools to full bans from Grand Theft Auto Online. And I announced that saying that I probably was one of those cheaters. And so were you, Nick. And so was Hawk.
There's a difference between gaming it the way we did and I think
you duped.
The actual cheating.
You duped with me. We duped cars.
Oh.
The infamous duping of cars that we were doing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they mean though.
No, it is. I talked to Hawk, and it's like that. He actually did some research into what they were looking for, and it's the duping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we probably don't have any money left in our accounts.
So
well, no, because
money that ain't bad.
You just have to spend the money.
Yeah, right. I bought my apartment. I didn't really
so the lesson
pull the trigger
here,
and buy any cars. Yeah, you spend the money as soon as you
get it. Here, do something illegal, then spend that money as fast as you can so they can't trace it to you.
Right. Well, I didn't spend it because I'm thrifty that way. Even in games, I am thrifty.
I didn't spend any just because I didn't have anything to spend it on.
Well, you haven't even picked up your stimulus package.
Yeah, I know. So money's not really.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping that it's been so long that I played it that maybe they didn't go back that far in their records. But yeah, I probably have had all my money removed. So I'm not that worried about it. The online, it ran its course.
Yeah.
You've encouraged me to play the single player and get that. Ugh, really?
Who has their phone on during a freaking podcast?
Oh my God! Hold on a second. I'm missing an appointment. I told her my nail lady I couldn't come today.
Nick, who has their phone on?
Go ahead and talk. I have to take this call.
I don't know.
It's like I try to approach this as professionally as possible. And then you got people like that with just, dogs barking and it's just like phones ringing. And it's like, don't you
bring
try
it down every time.
It is. It's just, it's unbelievable. Like I listen to some other video game podcasts and there's no editing at all. And it's just like, can you hear me now? No, talk again. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Oh, you're too loud now. Can you hear me now? And it's like they spend the first 5 minutes of the show adjusting volume levels. It's like, don't you do that before the show? Or edit that out? No, they don't.
Are you still bitching about me?
No, we're talking about Diablo.
Fuck you. Don't lie to me.
I'm really loving playing the Witch Doctor. It's
Shut
cool.
up. You guys lie.
Guys don't lie. Hey, did you see that thing I had, the video? I forget where I got it, but I put it on my Facebook page about the sex video about fruit.
What?
It was what the hell was it called? It was real sex versus porno sex.
Oh, yes.
Fruit.
Yes.
And they had like this big long cucumber. And it was like, porno sex is like 9 inches. Real sex is 6. And they took the big knife and they cut 3 inches off the cucumber. It was all stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was just really crazy.
Yeah, sorry, I had to take that call. We're probably screwed. But you were the one, Nick, that encouraged me to finish up the multiplayer because you said that the multiplayer ending is worth it. Not multiplayer, single player.
Yeah.
The ending is super worth it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Nick, for your insightful and
he's
fluent.
just,
What? We talked about it on the other podcast. Go listen to the other podcast if you want more details.
There we go. There's the fire I know and love.
Synergy.
PlayStation Vita owners, if you own a Vita, and that includes you. I actually held this out specifically for you, Goalie, so that you could hear it.
Man.
Right now, they're running a PlayStation Vita Play campaign. This offer is going to give you $3 in the PlayStation Store PlayStation Store credit to players who purchase 2 featured games between January 21st and February 17th. Buy 3 featured games and you'll get $6 back. Collect the whole set of 4, and Sony will give you a $10 rebate.
I haven't done too much in the Vita. I still she likes playing that Treasure of Montezuma. That's what she likes to play. It's like a Bejeweled game.
Right.
I like to play Men's Room Mayhem. That's the one where it's a top-down view of a
right. I have to actually pick that up.
That's fun. You drag the people to the bathroom and then you have them wash their hands and you make sure they don't bump into each other. And it's like that airport game that you guys had on the iPhone there, where you drag the planes around and tell them what to do.
Right.
It's a fun little game, but I haven't done too much. I think Resogun would probably be fine on the Vita. Like if you did the PS4 play.
I agree.
Diablo would be another one that would play very well, but some of the other games, like shooter games and stuff, do not play well on the Vita.
Okay, so they're going to roll these things out. It's kind of like the Summer of Arcade for Xbox. They roll them out week by week. Already out is Ollie Ollie, and it's 20% off.
I saw something about that. Isn't that like a puzzle game thing?
Yeah. It's a skateboard platformer.
Yeah, okay.
Then, let's see, on the 28th, are we on the 28th yet? No. So next week, it's going to be Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. Then on February 4th, we're going to see Dust Force.
Oh, that could be cool. I've seen enough of that on PC. Okay, that's interesting. That's a good one.
And then on February 11th, TXK.
I have no idea what that is.
It's kind of like a Tempest arcade shooter.
I have
Tempest-esque.
Vaguely an idea what that is.
Right. You don't remember?
Is that the one
That's
where you have like the little
Tempest was the one you had that like the little thing that went around the edge of a tube.
The hockey puck that you controlled it, you twisted the knob.
Right. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Tempest.
That's Tempest. And you had to shoot down the tube and these things that were crawling up the tube, like spiders.
I was awful at that game.
I did too, but I loved it. I loved it. So much fun. The arcade cabinet. Oh, I loved that game. So yeah, that's what's going on with them. Any other newsy thingies going?
I feel like
What was that? On the Xbox One, that Dead Rising 3, they have a 13 gigabyte update.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, a patch. Yeah, it's a patch.
And it's 13 gigs, and that's particularly crazy. Like, because that thing will download automatically. If you have the game,
Yeah.
and yeah. 13 gigs, download automatically. If you have any type of data cap, that sucks. But even then, that just takes up hard drive space. Like 13 gigs for what? A patch.
A patch.
Like, that seems like it should be content.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, Dead Rising 3 is not like a hugely buggy, broken game.
Makes you wonder what they're patching. Have they said?
No, I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't seen any explanation of it.
I
I'll look a little bit now, but
hey.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
it says that it's coming ahead of the DLC, so maybe it's
Laying the groundwork, putting foundation.
yeah, maybe it's something like what Battlefield always did, in that Battlefield always forced you to download the compatibility pack, even if you didn't get the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of allowed all the players to play together, because otherwise you'd get in a situation like what happened with Halo, where I remember trying to play Halo online with Chris like a couple years after it came out, and we couldn't play together because he had the DLC packs and I didn't. I'm like, well, I don't want to buy it, so okay, I guess we won't play.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Here's something you might find interesting, Nick. Actually, I would find this very interesting to see you using it. There's a designer named Sam Matson, and he has a solution for gamer rage that doesn't involve throwing the things at the screen.
Oh, no.
I don't throw things.
No, but you just yell and scream and promise to, like, kill babies and things like that.
Still, I don't throw things. I keep I care about my TV. No, I would never throw something at my TV.
No, but you might throw things at something else.
Yeah, I might have thrown a pillow at a bed.
Anyway, he has invented something called immersion, which is a headset that you hook around your ears, and it goes behind your head, kind of like the urban type of earphones, the ones that hook over your ears and then go behind your head.
Okay.
And what it does is it monitors your heart rate and looks at the blood flow and the changes in color in your ears because there's more blood flowing to your ears when you get frustrated, and it will increase a game's difficulty the more frustrated you become.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. That's cruel.
That is very cruel.
That
That is so mean. But the point is, it sounds like it's going to make somebody's heart explode at some point. But what it's really there for is to help people to control anger rather than to let it escalate. So it becomes like a biofeedback for your anger, for your emotions. Matson has designed a shooter-style game on the Unity platform, adding in the ability to interpret a player's pulse rate. Data from the headset's optical pulse sensor is sent to the game via Bluetooth, resulting in even more hopeless combat when you're getting aggravated. The inspiration for the headset, Matson's brother, whose Call of Duty skills were sinking as he became increasingly frustrated. So it's actually there to help you not only learn to control your emotions, but also learn to be a better gamer when you are angry.
Oh, you know what? You know what you could do to do that as well without getting all the accessories? Play Dark Souls.
No.
That's
That
that's what Dark Souls does to you.
I don't know. I think I'm afraid of Dark Souls. And whatever goal, you should stay the fuck away from Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Way away from Dark Souls.
Oh, I think I closed the tab. There was like a comment that the director made about the creature designs, and because Dark Souls had some of the most amazing creature designs of any game. They're creepy and scary, but he described it as he was always looking for something dignified about the monsters. And one of the artists came to him with this concept for the undead dragon, and the director pushed it away and said, no, don't rely on maggots and gore to express the undeadness of the dragon. Instead, try to find a way to express it. Think of this magnificent beast doomed to decay and ruin for eternity. And it was oh, that was kind of a good way of putting it, because it puts into perspective what Dark Souls is all about. Just the idea that all of these enemies are kind of just as fucked as you. And it's we're all in this together. We may as well kill each other. It's yeah, that's Dark Souls. And it made me think all these games that kind of don't explain themselves or do a poor job doing it. I think Dark Souls is one of the few games that pulls it off relatively well, because it's not just a lack of tutorial. It's that the entire game is built around the concept of not knowing and putting you in an underdog position, or putting you in a position of weakness. That's a philosophy behind everything about it, not just a lack of tutorial. So it kind of fits. Anyways, that was just my random Dark Souls praise for the week.
We talked earlier in the show about Nintendo's problems, about how the Wii U is just bombed, and how Nintendo didn't sell as many DSs last year. They missed their mark by about 20%, only selling about, 13.5 versus 18 million what they projected, and how they're kind of in a little bit of trouble. Third consecutive year they're going to post a loss, when this year they had projected that they would have a almost $1 billion profit. They're actually going to lose $330 million this year. And I just was reading a report, kind of an obscure report, that there is a Japanese investment and market analysis firm called Ace Securities, ACE, and it released a report on what's happening with Nintendo. That's in ahead of the briefing that Satoru Iwata of Nintendo is going to be making on January 30th, because they're going to have an investors briefing and, essentially the release of the information, official release of their sales and their numbers. It's going to happen on the 30th. So anyway, this company wrote a report kind of outlining what Nintendo has to do for investors to kind of redeem themselves, and the things that they want to hear from Iwata. And
this is a Japanese company doing it.
Is a Japanese security firm.
Okay, interesting.
And in their report, they say, in the console management policy briefing on January 30th, the company is going to describe the future business policy. 1, dealing with the content development risks due to the consecutive failure of launch with high performance 3DS and the Wii U. And 2, and this is the interesting one, response to the problem of the inability to secure third-party titles caused by Sony Computer Entertainment investing heavily in the market cost of multi-platform software. So it looks like, and I don't know if this is actually going to happen, but this is the report that was made by the securities firm, is that it may be that one of the things that Nintendo mentions in this upcoming meeting is about how Sony is kind of cock-blocking them in the market to get these third-party titles.
What would those third-party titles be?
Let's see. This is the report, and I'm reading this on something called DualShockers.com. And in there, comes out of the article directly. It says, it may seem a bit surprising to see Sony blamed for Nintendo's struggle in securing third-party titles for its consoles. We're assuming the analyst who wrote the report was thinking about the Wii U and not the 3DS here, because otherwise he's overlooking one big game, Monster Hunter. That said, we can definitely assume that many keen eyes will be watching the briefing on the 30th. We'll have to wait for that date to know whether Nintendo will steer its business policies around radically, or it will keep marching straight on the same path. It's an interesting idea.
I'm just trying to think what third-party games talking about, because most third-party games from big publishers still came there, like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Batman.
Well, didn't Assassin's Creed, did it release at the same time, or was it released afterwards?
I think it was all released at the same time. All released
at the same time. Well, didn't Assassin's Creed have a less content?
No.
I just remember there being a difference in the two releases, the Wii U versus the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 versions.
Well, I think the only differences would be the difference between the Xbox 360 and Xbox.
Maybe? Okay. But this is the only time I've seen this, but it does come from a securities company, so technically they do their research, but it also mean that they're talking out of their ass. But it was an interesting concept, and I will be interested to know if that topic actually comes up on the 30th when Iwata does meet the press, so to speak, and face the music on their bad numbers. If they actually do mention how Sony's kind of giving them a hard time as far as securing these third-party titles, because that would actually change quite a bit. And it would actually make me respect Sony a little bit more, that it's being... When they were releasing the PlayStation 4 and they were competing against Microsoft, they really were reactive, not proactive. But they didn't need to be proactive. All they had to do was wait for Microsoft to say something, and then they'd backdoor them, and it would all just fall apart for Microsoft. But it's interesting that they may be actually on the offensive against Nintendo.
Okay, one thing I could see Sony getting in the way is if they were like trying to court indie developers.
That would make sense.
Because, Sony went heavily that route.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I could see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, because we're the one game that I loved on the Wii U was Little Inferno. I don't want Mario games. I don't want Zelda games. I don't want big name titles on my Wii U. I want those on my PlayStation 4. And I don't want Zelda games or Mario games or any of their Nintendo Land crap. That's little kid stuff. I don't want it. But I am actually more interested in using the Wii U controller for things like indie games. I found Little Inferno awesome on the Wii U. It was really good to play because it was the combination of being able to use it on a tablet, which is what it was designed for, and then also having it on the big screen. It was super, super, super fun on the Wii U. So that's an interesting concept. Because many of these little independent companies, there's little games really do work themselves much better with that Wii U touchpad screen controller. It's many ways the best solution for a lot of games, especially ones that have come from iOS or from Android.
Yeah, because it's still touchscreen.
It's a pad. It's a mobile pad connected to your television. It's genius, except it doesn't work. Except they don't have any games.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. So anybody else have anything?
No.
Yeah.
It's been quiet, yeah.
Yeah, definitely has. Are either of you interested in what Iwata has to say on the 30th?
What?
Did I just not make sense to you?
Is there a big announcement coming on the 30th? I mean, do you know something we don't?
Well, we were just talking about it, about Iwata actually talking about the state of Nintendo.
Yeah,
I didn't put two and two together.
You weren't listening.
I was. I'm just not putting it together.
Typical. You don't listen to anything I have to say. You're such a dick.
I'm perfectly willing to just wait and read what other news stories have to say about it. I don't care enough to.
I don't know. There's a part of me that's a little bit curious, kind of like watching. Rather than listen and hearing what somebody else has to say about the car wreck, I would kind of like to witness the car wreck myself.
That is so you.
Yeah, what's your point?
I want to see the people die.
I don't want to hear their part. Right. Like when I was watching the 40, when I was listening to the 49er game on the radio in the kitchen, and what's his name got his leg jacked.
Oh.
As soon as I heard the guys go, oh, that's a bad injury. Oh, that doesn't look good. I literally went right to my television and went to the channel so that I could watch, see the act. And I felt bad doing it. I felt a little dirty. But as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh!
You're like, that was cool.
That was awful. But it was the only time I actually ran to it. By the way, I'm sorry your Patriots lost. I'm sorry my 49ers lost.
We're kind of not. I mean, we all pretty much knew that this team was running on fumes. Every week, another person got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Every week. It just, it's like you'd play and one, except for Tom Brady, he's like the only guy that didn't get hurt all year.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in with just like all guys that were on the practice team.
Yeah.
And we got all the way to championship game and then, in our conference and, Denver mowed us down. We all knew it. No, nobody was even thinking. I mean, the first half was a joke, and I think everybody turned it off. In fact, somebody called me up and says, hey, you want to go out and get something to eat? And like right in the middle of the game. So I was like, yeah, I take it the game's over. So, yeah, but the 49ers got jacked, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought, the referees
Thank you.
really tucked it to him.
They did. They really.
How was that? When the guy broke his leg, how was that not San Francisco ball?
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, what was it?
If he hadn't jacked his leg right there, they probably would have given it to him. But everybody was so focused on the jacking of the leg, they wouldn't have. Well, the guys on our radio station were like, "Is this a reviewable play? Is this a reviewable play?" And it was not even a reviewable play, so they couldn't have reversed it even if they wanted to.
How wasn't it a reviewable play if he intercepted it? All turnovers are reviewable.
I don't know. But they said it was not a reviewable for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of that.
Yeah, we definitely got the NFL definitely wanted the Seahawks to win.
That's what I said too. I'm not a pro San Francisco or anti San Francisco or Seattle by any means. But when I start watching a game and it looks like one team is getting ripped off, I start rooting for the team that. The other team.
Right. The underdog.
Every call was going for Seattle. And just how many times did that quarterback run 30 yards behind the scrimmage and just throw it away? And that's supposed to be a penalty, intentional grounding.
And they only got one intentional grounding, and it was so obvious they couldn't not call it.
They had to call it. And it was killing them to make that call. I mean, I was closer to the ball than some of the Seattle receivers were in some of that play. It's just like, okay, here it is. Here they're going to throw the flag. No flag. No flag.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody even close.
Right.
And so, yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I was actually Facebooking all that.
I remember watching you it's like, wow, you're way more jacked up about this game than I am.
I didn't even care, but when I see things go awry like that, when I see one. In fact, in the Super Bowl, Seattle was in the Super Bowl a few years ago. They played Pittsburgh. And I remember the Pittsburgh quarterback ran a quarterback sneak, and his head, top of his head, grazed the goal line, and they called it a touchdown.
No, that's not a touchdown.
And I was like, if you fall forward and you got the ball in your arm against your chest and your head hits the goal line,
not a touchdown.
It's not a touchdown because the ball didn't hit the goal line.
Yeah, ball. The ball has to break the plane.
Ball has to touch the goal line before you're down. Okay. He went down. His head was on the goal line. The ball was in his chest. Right. They showed all 37 cameras. None of them showed the ball over the goal line, okay? And common sense would deduce that if his head's on the line and the ball's in his chest, the ball
is not over the goal line.
Can't be on the line at the same time, okay? Yeah. There's definitely between the top of his head and the chest is a foot and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some crack official, though, saw the ball over the line and called it a touchdown. None of the 37 high-definition cameras or the blimp cam in the Super Bowl saw it over the line, but this guy had such good eyesight, he saw it over the line. And because none of the cameras could confirm or deny this guy's report, the touchdown stood, Pittsburgh won, and I sat there with my jaw dropping saying, Seattle just got hosed.
Yeah.
They got hosed big time.
So yeah, and it's a shame. I mean, actually, I'm proud of the 49ers for playing as well as they did. I put it on Facebook. I said I will be pleasantly surprised if we beat the Seahawks. And the Seahawks are making a big deal about how they won. They didn't. They won, but they almost lost, and that I think should come as a bigger surprise to them than it is. And it hasn't really quite sunk in that they trailed in that whole game until the very last of the last quarter. They were getting their ass handed to them in the first half. So, yeah, you won. They did, and I'm not begrudging them. I thought that they were a very strong team, but I also want to point out to anybody in those Seattle fans that you didn't win resoundingly. You almost got your ass handed to you. You just got very, very good at the very, very end, but it was a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, and just the 12th man is the official.
At least in that game it was. It was true.
It was bad.
Yeah. So even if the plays had gone the other way, I don't know if it would have changed the outcome of the game because it was a well-played game all the way along.
Yeah. I don't think the officials cost San Francisco the game.
Even that turnover really didn't make a difference because they ended up not getting it on fourth down, and we got the ball anyway.
Yeah, but it's just the idea that, it's like, come on, you guys, just, I don't know, whatever. But I forgot what I was saying. I just hate when you see Kaepernick, all those interceptions. So I was Facebooking, these referees, and then Kaepernick throws 3 interceptions in a row. It's like, well, yeah. They can't blame the referees when the quarterback gets intercepted 3 times. And then someone pointed that out. I'm like, yeah, you make a good point, but at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. Nick, you'll get a kick out of this. We talked about it on the regular show about how Candy Crush Saga has the King.com, the developer of Candy Crush Saga, has submitted to trademark the words candy and saga. Oh, yes, they can. They went to Britain and got it in Britain, and they're using their British trademark now as grounds for getting their American trademark.
Yeah, but I just can't. How do you trademark something generic like candy?
Because they candy.
So now, Candyland is gone now.
No, and they've actually not been dicks about it. That they're only going after what they believe are games that are trying to really genuinely take advantage of the popularity of Candy Crush. Like, they're not going after confectioners. They're not going after... There's another game that's a something saga. They're not going after that because it's an established game that was around long before this one, and no one would ever think that this saga has anything to do with Candy Crush Saga. But at the same time, it has alarmed a lot of people like you who are like, how do you trademark candy for fuck's sake?
I'm going to trademark red.
Well,
okay, no one can.
Facebook has trademarked both face and book.
Yeah.
If we started something called Gamehound's Book, we would be sued by Facebook.
I can see if you do something similar to somebody and you call it something similar, I'm okay with that. But if we open up a bookstore.
Right. No. They're not. They can't go after a bookstore. It has to be in the same venue and be something that they could prove.
I'm kind of okay with that because so if you're saying that if we invent an app and it's a fun little game and it's candy galore or something like that.
Yes, they would sue the fuck out of us.
I'm okay with that because yes, we are definitely trying to capitalize on them and their name and their whole thing. But if I want a candy store, or if I wanted to do a candy website that had nothing to do with a video game.
Right, no, yeah, then they're not going after that.
Okay. What if Candy Galore is really like a prostitution sim starring a woman named Candy?
No, that would be Pussy Galore. James Bond.
That's right.
Nice.
Pushy Galore.
I heard she likes it shaken, not stirred.
Anyway, you'll get a kick out of this. So I guess there is an indie developer called. There's 2 of them. UAV, it's UUAV, and Caribou. They have started something called the Candy Jam. It's a game that challenges entrants to make any game involving candies. Consider using the word candy several times, suggests the Candy Jam website. Also, Scroll, Memory, Saga, and Apple might give bonus points. They're literally trolling.
Oh.
They're trolling King.com. As soon as they heard about the patent, they opened up a website to say, invent candy games here.
Nice.
It says, why make a jam like this? As Candy Jam Sites puts it, because trademarking common names is ridiculous and because it gives us an occasion to make another game jam.
Wasn't there Sugar Crush out there? That's a game too, Sugar Crush?
Yep, they'll probably go after that one. The Candy Jam hashtag
has all... Well, they can't go after Sugar Crush because it doesn't have Candy or Saga.
Right, but they'll probably... I think probably Crush is in there too. Who knows? Anyway... The Candy Jam hashtag has already become an enjoyable place on Twitter, and plenty of game makers have offered support for the idea and say they're making games. There's already one entrant, a game appropriately called Candy, Candy, Candy. So, yeah, it's a game jam, and it's Mega Candy Game. Dicks, you assholes. We're making a candy jam. You shitheads.
And it's kind of funny that they busted their balls. Sorry, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm totally cool with that.
Okay, so other news that you have absolutely no idea about, but still is kind of funny. And this comes out of Kotaku. If you're not yet familiar with the world of Sims patch notes, please allow us to make your day. Over the past few years, EA's ridiculous simulation game has been chock full of ridiculous bugs, and rather than ruin them by paraphrasing, we're rounding them up, the best ones right here, all taken verbatim from actual Sims updates. 2009, fix for babysitter routing off lots with babies. Fix for a freeze that can occur when Sims attempt to clean out bad food from the fridge. Babies will no longer be born to single parents. Reduce the urge for neat Sims to put away fire pits. Sims can no longer...
What? Say that again?
Reduced urge for neat Sims to put away fire pits.
Okay.
Sims can no longer interview non-playable ghosts. Sims no longer have the rare chance of getting permanently stuck while socializing. Becomes enemies with child wish no longer appears.
Oh, but that sounds like such a fun way.
Prevented a case where toddlers were allowed to escape a lot and wander freely.
Oh my god, that's totally a feature.
Eating specific prepared meals no longer has an impact on an unborn baby's gender.
Okay. That's weird.
Televisions no longer play video after they are burned or broken.
Oh,
not the TVs.
Sims can no longer try for baby with the Grim Reaper.
Oh, bullshit.
Talk about getting
That's the only way to avoid death.
Fixes an issue that, this is 2010, fixes an issue that causes Sim to get stuck in the grab a slice interaction on pizza. Let's see. Dead relatives will no longer appear alive in your Sims family trees while traveling to Egypt, China, or France. Let me see, there was one that I wanted to find. That was Sims no longer wish to skinny dip with mummies. Pregnant Sims can no longer brawl.
Oh, bullshit. I paid for that.
Sims that drown while skinny dipping will now spin into their clothes while interacting with the Grim Reaper.
Oh, see, that's not how real life works. When you die, you come back as a ghost in the clothes that you died in.
Fixed an issue that caused Sims to leave their toddler inside a bar at closing time.
Oh, they're ruining this game.
Let's see. 2011, toddlers can no longer get fleas. Baby Sims will no longer become stuck on a Sim's hand while driving a car. Babies and toddlers will no longer go into a frozen state when a social worker comes to take them while they're being pushed in strollers.
I won't let you take my baby.
Let's see. Sims who are on fire will no longer be forced to attend graduation before they can put themselves out.
Okay.
I'm not getting this update.
Child Sims will no longer play in sand indoors where there is no sand.
That okay, I'm with that. That sounds reasonable.
Let's see. Murphy bed has been made less lethal.
I don't know what that means, but
yeah.
Okay.
You know what a Murphy bed is, right?
No.
Really? Oh, am I just the old-fashioned one here? Chat room. Is anybody who here doesn't? Should say who here does know what a Murphy bed is? And I'll leave it open and I'll explain what a Murphy bed is. A Murphy bed was when you have like a super small apartment, like especially in places like New York, it's the bed that folds into the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
that could be lethal.
Well, it's actually can be lethal in real life, but yeah, I guess they were made lethal in the game, and now they're less lethal.
I like how it's less lethal and not
not totally, not non-lethal. Fixed an issue with baby walker and playpen that could cause toddler problems. Fixed an issue that could cause the time traveler to catch on fire and not be able to put it out.
Fuck time travel.
Fixed an issue that could cause a teen to be trapped in a child's body when traveling to the future at the exact moment of a birthday.
Oh,
What the fuck?
something like that.
This game, this
Okay, wait,
list
like-
just reminds me why I have to start playing Sims again. Yeager said he
Hey,
slept on
time
one from
travel.
1995 to 2000. He slept on a Murphy bed.
Okay.
And Yeager says, yeah, he has 2 of them. He says, the best springs I ever had, if you know what I mean. Giggity.
I don't get it.
Are you saying you killed someone with it?
Yeah. What are you saying?
So, yeah, I got to play Sims. This list just makes me want to play Sims again. Mermaid children
that
can now
makes-
take showers.
Sims is a very different game from when I last played it.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yep. So, all right. Well, I think we've reached that time, unless you got something else you want to talk about. Diablo 3?
I can play for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think it might cheer you up. You feeling a little better now, goalie?
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Has
It's
your
just-
Murphy bed been made less lethal?
I'm just run down. It's not that I'm in a bad mood or anything. It's just, the cold just saps your energy, and it was when it's 9 degrees outside and you're trying to shovel or snow blow, it just tires you out.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
let's.
just in a tired mood.
I know, poor bub. I'm sorry. I wish that I had my buddy passes because I would send you, tell everybody at the thing, fuck off for a week, just bring you out here, let you warm up, let you sit by the water in 75-degree heat, and just let the sun bake you for a little while, and bring you back home, put you to bed, feed you some good food.
What was actually funny was a few years ago, I went out to Vegas for something, and I think I went out in February, and we were getting hammered in snow. It might have been 2010 or 11.
Yeah, when the really bad snow was going on.
Yeah, we were getting murdered with snow out here, and I had to go to Vegas for the hockey thing. And I remember getting out there, and I remember stepping on the ground going, wow, there's no snow or ice. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And it sucked because everybody back here got mauled with snow while I was away. But I was like, man, it was nice. I mean, you still got to come back and do the cleanup, which kind of sucks. But it was nice not being cold for
You might want to think about that next year as a mental health break for yourself. Is schedule a week even though it's your busy season, schedule a week for yourself, maybe about mid-January, to go somewhere warm. Just to take a week off from this constant, especially with the weather getting weird, this constant freezing cold temperatures and snow and freezing cold and then snow and then it's hot and then it melts and then it snows buckets again. Just so you can give yourself a little mental break, because it seems like every year right about this time you just get not only physically but mentally beaten down by the weather.
Well, what happened is our December started off with snow and cold, and December was a cold month. And December is usually 40s for us, and we got a little bit of snow, and it's nice at Christmas, blah, blah, blah. But we got some single-digit days, and we got a decent-sized snowstorm, and that just starts the ball rolling like a month early.
Right.
I always say if we can get through Christmas or the end of the year and there's very little to no snow on the ground, we can handle January and half of March pretty easily. But when it starts in December and you're cold already in December,
Right.
it just makes it miserable.
Make a promise to yourself that mid-January every year, just schedule out a week and let everybody know this is a bye week. And then go take Sharon and go to Florida. Go to Florida.
Figure out what to do with the dogs, and there's still
It's tough, but think about you had that same issue when you went to Vegas, but think about what a relief that was for you to have a week where you didn't have snow.
The other thing,
And when you came back, you had more energy to tackle things like the snow.
But let me just throw this out there, though. Number one is that you still come back and there's still snow here, and it's very depressing when you come back from the sun and it's shitty around here. So you're almost better off just sticking with it and getting used to it. When you come back from a sunny area and it's freezing cold and snow, it's worse. It's like jumping out of the pool and then jumping back in the pool and then jumping back out of the, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm just going to stay in the pool. And then the other thing is and that was the big thing. It's coming back into it sucks. And then also there's the flying thing. You just don't know. You could be stuck in an airport or have flights canceled. That's why, when they send me on these trips now, I say nothing in January or February if I got to fly, because I cannot guarantee what the weather's going to be. I got lucky 2 Februarys in a row. I went to Vegas and storms were all around me, and I was actually early. My flights were early. I got real lucky. The last time they asked me to go, I said no, and I wouldn't have got out. So yes, it sounds good in theory to say, hey, I'm going to just pack up and get out of here, but I don't want to be booking a trip for a few days or a week, and then now your flight's canceled. Or the worst thing is coming home gets canceled. Now you're really kind of screwed, because now we probably get dogs somewhere. I probably told people I will have work when I get back, and now no, I don't like to stray too far when weather is an issue.
Yeah. Okay.
As stupid as that sounds,
well,
but
let's do what we can to give you a little bit of a holiday today. Let's log off, go play some Diablo.
What is this video?
That's the Grim Reaper baby. I posted it into
good.
the chat room. It is a YouTube video of the Grim Reaper baby. So while you're watching the Grim Reaper baby, I'm going to close this out.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
The baby actually looks different.
Okay, I will watch it. So let's close this out. You have been listening to Happy Endings, episode 38, recorded on Wednesday, January 22nd, 2014. I've been Edie Sellers, and with me has been Nick Dunicola and Holy Goalie. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website. You could also go to our Facebook page. Please, hey, I'm serious. If you listen to this show, you may very well want to like and subscribe to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/thegamehounds. The reason why is that Piss Boy posts all the news of the week throughout the week on that page. So when you subscribe to it, it will show up in your feed, so you can stay up on all of the topics that we talk about during the week, plus even the ones that we don't talk about. If you want to stay up on news, Gamehound or video game news, that's the best way to do it. Facebook.com/thegamehounds. Also, there's our Spreaker feed. If you're listening in the chat room right now, you already know where it is. But if you are listening to this after the fact, it is Spreaker.com/Gamehounds. That's us, and you can actually join us and listen live while we're chatting and talking and actually be able to participate in the show. Let's see. I actually remembered the voicemail line. We have a voicemail and a text line. That voicemail and text line is 304-300-9889. Right?
No, wait. It's 304-300-9889.
Yeah. So, I remembered it on the other show. So finally, after how many years have we had it, I actually remember the number. Yay me.
Yay me.
So,
oh man, I should really. I have to go do some quick work. I gotta actually go shopping for one of the jobs I do. If you can believe it, we buy food for this job. I should just do that, come home and get drunk and play Diablo all night and get silly drunk.
Yeah.
Too bad I can't stream it. I wish there was a way I could hook up my Xbox 360 to my PlayStation 4 and stream that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting idea.
Wow, Diablo.
Get on it.
I mean, when Diablo comes to PlayStation 4, I'm so going to stream that.
Yep, absolutely. Oh. So, let's see the other ways. Gamehounds@gmail.com. That's our email. And also, hey, if you want to subscribe to us, so that you can get these automatically downloaded to your iPhone, iPod, Android device, whatever your MP3 player is, You can subscribe to us on iTunes. We're under Happy Endings. Gamehounds Happy Endings is our Happy Endings show. Gamehounds is our regular show, although sometimes most of the times, actually, lately, our Gamehounds is showing up on the iTunes Happy Endings feed, which I'm going to fix today. I'm going to actually switch things over and get them all properly done. And what else? What am I missing? Oh, I am Gamer Edie. That's GamerEdie on PlayStation 4. I'm also Gamer Edie, spelled the same, no spaces in either one of them, on Xbox 360. Goalie is Gamer Goalie, and Nick is Alsop Live on the 360, ALSOP, space, LIVE, and is Evil Alsop on PlayStation 4, and that's EV0L, not... Oh.
Just go to Edie's.
There's an O.
There's an O.
That wasn't that dumb.
Oh, I thought it was a 0.
I did too. Just find us find him through us.
Find him through us.
I don't remember, actually. I think it's a 0.
It is a 0.
No, I think it's an O.
It's an O? All right. EVOLALSOP.
I wish you could change your name, because I would love to go back to Holy Goal, even with a dash.
No. I would love to change it too.
Yeah, well, I might have to send some requests to Sony and see if they'll do that. So anyway, get with us. We would love to have you. Go ahead and invite us to your friends list if you don't have space on your friends list, and we would love to have you. And join us if you ever see us online. Join us gaming, because we're on lots of the multiplayer games. So, hey, Steve Rush, he just joins just in time for us to say goodbye. So to everybody in the chat room, thank you so much for being with us on the show. Your presence here makes us more present in your show. Does that
you guys get presents? I didn't get presents.
I always get presents. Their presence is my present. Are my presents. Their presence is my present. Yes. So thank you for being with us on the show, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, everyone. See you later. Bye.